let's talk about Liverpool. How does that back line look now with the injury to Van Dijk a week or 2 weeks ago? We spoke a little bit about this last week, and let's also get into a bit of a Salah and Mane debate. So first, let's talk about that back line. Gasch, you want to start us off?
Yeah, the back line's not looking too hot, and that's one of the reasons why I dropped my Liverpool Robertson Trent double up on my wild card. Robertson's looked a lot better this season in terms of the numbers he's been putting up, and also just he tends to play a lot higher up the field. Trent was kind of higher up in their Champions League game yesterday, which was Tuesday. But I think that was because the winger on Robertson's side was a pretty skillful player and kept him pinned back the whole time. So they kind of just shifted everything over. But overall, Robertson's been getting the touches in the final third and the touches in the box and creating most of the chances. But don't count out, everyone starts dropping Trent and then all of a sudden he explodes for like 24 points like he did last season. But at this point, I think Robertson is the logical, better pick based on what we know.
Yeah, and strangely enough, the fact that Robertson is the logical pick kind of makes me want to drop him and keep Trent. Like you said, I don't know. I just feel like anytime there's like an obvious choice, I make it and I'm wrong. So I think this time I might might go with Trent. I got to look into those underlying stats a little bit more. But yeah, that Liverpool backline, we were so excited, you and I especially, with those Liverpool double ups. But that lasted what, like 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks?
Well, I can't. I was excited in an FPL sense, but also pretty sad in a real life fan sense. And,
of course.
And then once they kind of started, it's awful what happened to Van Dijk, but as a Man United fan, I mean, it makes Liverpool's team weaker. So I was kind of, when I was transferring out Trent, I was like,
I like the way you tiptoed around that. It's awful what happened to Van Dijk, but as a United fan, it's all right.
I can't be an asshole on here, but listening.
All right, C4, man. What are you thinking about that Liverpool backline?
I mean, it's really playing with my emotions because now I think it was after game week 6. The report was that Alisson would be back, I think, this week or next week. But then, midweek, Fabinho goes down in the Champions League. So it's like just that constant emotional turmoil. And looking at how Chelsea's looked and how good United's looked, it's like, do I really want to have Trent still sitting there when I can upgrade my midfield and get another premium asset in there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Tazz, how about you?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. If it was just Van Dijk and Alisson, I think he came back and played for them in the Champions League tie. I would still feel somewhat comfortable with owning Robertson. I had Trent before, and I switched over to Robertson during my wild card because Robertson's been performing better with the underlying numbers during the beginning of the season. But now that Fabinho went out during Champions League and it's a hamstring, they said they have to get a scan for it. They don't know how serious it is. So that kind of worries me that Liverpool didn't trust. They put a CDM back there, didn't trust their backup center backs. So it's kind of I don't think it's crazy to assume that Robertson will get the same amount of almost chances or Trent as a midfielder in that £7 million range. Kind of I expect them to get similar attacking potential, but right. But now you kind of eliminated their chances at a clean sheet almost fully with those injuries. That I feel like it's for most of us it's kind of a chance of we can downgrade Robertson or Trent down to a cheap budget midfielder, and then you can upgrade a midfielder like a Jack Grealish or or even a Pulisic up to another premium asset. So it kind of makes you reconsider your team structure.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I still had my wild card now. I don't know. If I had the wild card, I honestly might drop both of them and not have a Liverpool defender at all. I don't see a ton of clean sheets happening. And that's a really good point too about them putting Fabinho back there instead of trusting their backups. And now they're going to have to trust their backups if this Fabinho injury is going to be long term. So yeah, tough stuff for Liverpool.